This is where I have men stationed at the entrances. Here, here, here.
Well, you are thorough.
I just hope nothing happens in Port Charles to make me pull men off this detail.
You really think that even with all this added security that there's going to be another attempt on Tony's life?
If he keeps showing signs of improvement, the answer to that is yes.
Where can I reach you if I want you, Robert?
That depends how much you want me.
Sometimes, desperately.
You should have thought of that earlier.
Now, come on. Answer my question.
Well, first I'm going to my office to check through the hospital security, point by point. Then I'm going to the hospital myself to check the whole thing through, point by point.
I wish we knew how Tony was this morning.
Well, I was expecting a call before I left. I did phone earlier, and his doctors were just starting to examine him.
Have you seen Felicia lately?
No, why?
Well, I know that she can't relate to what Tanya and Frisco are going through, but she must be going through hell herself, don't you think?
Yeah.
Her guilt must be enormous.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I wonder if my talking to her might help.
Scorpio. I see. Yeah. I'll come straight down to the hospital. Yeah, thank you.
What is it?
The morning report on Tony is good.
Oh, that's wonderful. Is he out of the coma?
No, just not as deep as it was, and showing signs of eye movement. With this kind of news, I can drag in more men for security. Who?
Who shot him?
While he was treating Peter, that's the key to this whole thing.
I suppose now it's more important than ever that news of Tony's improvement doesn't get out.
Somebody out there wants him to die as much as we want him to live. Now remember, every door leads somewhere. I don't care how unimportant it seems to be. I want every entrance and exit placed under surveillance. Basement to roof. Let's go for a walk and see what might have missed.
Hi, Holly.
Hi, Ruby.
How can I do for you? Maybe some breakfast?
No, thank you, but some coffee would be lovely. I was hoping to see Felicia.
She's not here. I expect her back shortly. Also, she just got a phone call. She's at the hospital with her grandmother. Mariah has to go back to Texas today.
Oh, that's a shame. Felicia must need her right now.
Yes, she really does. Here they are.
All right, now, Felicia, I'm going upstairs to pack, and I suggest you do the same thing.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Holly.
I hear you have to go back.
Yes, I do.
And you too, Felicia?
Yes, grandmother thinks it's best.
Do you have a minute before you pack?
Sure.
No? All right, and if you'll excuse me, I'll go ahead and get at it.
Can I help you, Mariah?
Oh, yes, please, Ruby, come on.
Sure.
Do you really have to go back to Texas?
My grandmother thinks it's hopeless here.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute, if you don't mind, before you make this move.
Well, I don't really think there's anything to talk about, Holly.
Is this really what you want to do?
My grandmother thinks it's the only thing that I can do. I had some crazy ideas about staying here and trying to make amends, but I think it'll be doing everybody a favor if I just vanish and get out of everybody's hair.
I know that feeling, and it's not totally wrong, either.
And then you have it.
There was a time in my life when I had to make amends, too. It wasn't exactly the same situation as you, of course, but at the time, it felt as if all the odds were against me. They were impossible to beat.
But you did it.
Yes, because it was just impossible for me not to.
That's the way I feel.
Do you think that you could ever get over Frisco?
No, I'll always love him.
No matter what? No matter how hard it is to live with that love?
No matter what.
Well, then, if that's how you really feel...
I do. I know it.
Then you mustn't give up.
What?
You've got to hang in there, no matter how hard it is for you.
Even if I've been made to feel that it's hopeless?
Yes. Even then. You know, if you really do love someone, I don't think there is any such word as hopeless.
And I'm putting 10 additional men on each shift to beef up security.
You really think there's going to be another attempt on his life?
As long as he keeps improving, it's the great danger.
Listen, I'm glad you put extra men around here, and Robert, I want you to know that I'm prepared to stay right at this spot. I won't move.
Well, thanks for the offer, Frisco, but we've got men trained to do that. Why don't you just look after Tanya?
I think Tony would want you to do that.
Look, I'm just trying to work this out, that's all. Tanya, how is he?
I saw the eye movement, and he's definitely got more color.
Oh.
Yeah. Robert, what is it? Is something wrong?
No, love. You know, just routine, checking things out.
I think it's time that I spoke my piece. Would you mind, please? Frisco, I want you to take Tanya home and let her get some rest, please. You know, my friend, you have got to take care of yourself.
She's right.
I'll take her down to the cafeteria to get something.
But you want to see Tony for a few minutes, right?
Well, yeah, I do.
All right, why don't you walk with us to the hub, please?
I'll be right down.
And Robert, thanks for looking after Tony.
You can be sure of it, love.
Well, I'd say this... Oh.
Dr. Palmer, you have a minute?
Yes, what is it?
Is it possible to move Tony to another hospital? I'm suggesting a place in Buffalo. I'd like him out of Port Charles completely.
No, Mr. Scorpio. It wouldn't be safe to try to move him.
That's what I thought you'd say. Well, when?
Well, at the present rate of his progress, might be able to be moved in 5 or 6 days.
No sooner?
No.
So much for that bright idea.
No, if we can keep him safe for 5 or 6 days, your idea could work.
Strange, isn't it? When we should be celebrating Tony's improvement. In actual fact, we're worried sick about it.
I'm not going home with you, Grandmother.
Felicia!
My only chance for any kind of future is to stay right here in Port Charles and face the present.
But you agree that it was hopeless for you to be here in Port Charles.
Mariah,
What?
some of this is my doing.
But you caused her to change her mind?
No, she gave me hope.
Oh, Felicia, I haven't time now to talk to you about this
I'll be
anymore.
okay, really.
You know what you're up against.
Better than anyone.
All right.
I'm going to take you to the airport.
Oh, all right. Well, then we can talk about this some more on the way. Ruby, dear, thank you so much for looking after me and Felicia.
My pleasure. You come back here soon.
Oh, you're a dear. You're so kind. And Holly, please say goodbye to Robert for me, will you?
We're going to miss you, Mariah.
Oh, thank you, dear. And also, will you please tell Robert that if I hear anything more about Peter and his friends, that I'll get in touch. All right, I'll tell him. Bye-bye.
Well, I must say your men have been doing all they can not to upset hospital routine.
I'm glad to hear it, and I'll pass the word.
Hi.
Ah, Amy,
I'm off to lunch.
anything unusual happen on your shift this morning?
Well, not really. Just a bunch of cops rambling around. Anything else you want to know?
Not at the moment, thank you. As I recall, Amy talks a lot.
Oh, she's a trained nurse, Robert. She knows what's important and what's not.
Anything happening up here, Murphy?
I don't think so.
Good. Jesse, any new patients on the 10th?
No new admissions, but I kept a list of incoming phone calls.
How do the names check out?
Well, it may seem kind of silly, but there's one name I'd like you to take a look at. It's Leonard Harvey. He called, and he said that he'd been a patient of Tony's. And the minute I had a chance, which was about a minute ago, I called admissions and had them check, and there's no record of Tony's ever having a patient by that name.
I see.
I couldn't find it in the telephone book, and I tried information, nothing.
You get a sense of his age from his voice?
Well, it wasn't an old voice, but that's all I can be sure of, and I had the feeling that... I can't even be sure of that.
Tell me.
I just had a feeling that he was putting on some kind of an act, and that's an awfully hard thing to pinpoint.
No, but it fits with the rest of it. I maintain that probably some of these other calls are phony as well. But at least you've pinned down one of them, and I appreciate that.
Right now, I'd do anything in the world for Tony.
I know. That's why we're all here.
Well, what do you think?
First, Jesse Brewer is a very bright person. Secondly, somebody out there is worried about whether Tony lives or not.
Do you think it's that man named Peter that everybody's talking about?
I doubt it. He's on the run and with good cause. Someone wants Tony dead because of what Peter told him. They want Peter dead as well. I'm putting the whole hospital on alert. I got a gut feeling. Somebody out there wants to get in here.
You're opening in New York, Celia. I just don't know if I can make it yet or not.
Go to the show, love. I'm sure Celia would love to have her best friend on hand.
Well, Robert says that I should go. Okay, I'll call you later. Bye. Are you sure you don't need me, sweetheart?
Not unless you qualify as a police officer and want to do some duty at the hospital tonight. I'm short one man.
How's Tony?
Tell you what, that guy's stamina is amazing. He's actually showing signs of coming out of coma.
You mean he might recover completely?
Wouldn't put it past him.
Well, that's splendid. Everybody must be thrilled.
Well, I can think of one person outside the hospital that isn't too thrilled about it.
Of course.
Now, I just wish I could move the guy. Unfortunately, the doctors have nixed it.
Do you suppose that word has gotten out about his improvement?
Well, I haven't heard about it. Everyone seems to be cooperating in that area.
The trouble is, it's the easiest thing in the world for something like that to slip.
Yeah, no. We've already had one phony call, which could have been a smart aleck reporter looking for some information. On the other hand, it might be the guy who's on the outside that wants to get inside and finish him off before he talks to people.
Oh, that's horrible. Come on. Let's take your mind off it for a while.
No, I can't do that, love. I've got to get back to the hospital after dinner. Well, at least for a short period.
I suppose you don't want a glass of wine before dinner?
No thanks. Scorpio.
Robert, it's Sean.
Sean, what have you got?
I got a lead on an unidentified American about Peter's age in a village up in the Amazon. I'm at a local airport right now, ready to take a plane to go see for myself.
Well, I hope it's the end of the trail.
Well, it's a long shot, Robert, but I have to check it out anyway.
Listen, if it's Peter, he's got to be in awful shape. Now, it's vital you take him alive.
No, I know. Otherwise, Tony Jones may still be in danger. By the way, how is he?
Tony? No change.
Oh, that's a shame. I don't see how he can come out of this.
I don't think he can pull out of it either.
Is he still in a coma?
A deep coma.
I'll tell you one thing, Robert. I'll catch up with this Peter Harrell. It's the last thing I ever do.
Take care of yourself, Sean. He's a desperate man.
All right, I'll contact you as soon as I come back down the river.
Good. Take care.
You too, buddy. Bye.
Bye.
Robert? But you lied.
So I did.
But he's in on this with you.
Well, you see, the rules don't just apply to everyone else. They also apply to me.
Sometimes your control puts me in awe of you.
I think I like the idea of you being in awe of me.
Well, it wouldn't forever.
Well, why don't we find out? Oh, come now.